don't hold it in. Like, if you want to talk about it, find somebody to talk to that supports you. Hi friends, and welcome back to Manda Muse. So today what I wanted to do was kind of just come full circle with an event that took place a month ago. In case you missed that video, I'm going to link it here. And basically the long story short is that I was assaulted in front of my kids inside of a store, and it's considered voyeurism, which is a sexual assault, and a man took a photo up my dress, and it was in front of my kids, and I retaliated, and I had like a bit of a physical reaction, like I held him in the aisle. Anyways, go watch that video. I won't go into all of that. But following the incident, I experienced a lot of stress, physical pain in my body just from the rush of emotions. As you can see in the 1 week later, I gave you an update a week later and kind of what happened there. And so kind of where I'm at. So I know a lot of you felt personally kind of invested in the situation because of your own personal experiences, and also just because we're like buddies because we've known each other on YouTube for so long. But the big update is really that I'm doing okay. I'm doing a lot better than I was a month ago. Does it still bother me? Yes. There's certain things in my life where I feel a little bit unsafe at times. A particular example is, I want to say maybe about a week ago, so 3 weeks after the event, I took my kids to an indoor pool. And I can't remember now if I've actually shared this here on YouTube. Maybe it was on a Facebook Live, anyhow. But I took my kids to this indoor pool, and as you guys have been following me for a while, like, I'm a very active parent. We do lots of stuff, and I don't have to have my husband with me. Like, we just do what we want, basically. Nothing usually stops me or holds me back. So anyway, we went to this indoor pool, and it was kind of plan B because we were gonna go to an outdoor pool, but it ended up kind of being really crappy weather and raining. So anyway, long story short, we end up at this pool, and all was good until I really, thunderstorms. I just felt like almost like I was on edge, and my senses were heightened, and I noticed there was a particular person at the pool who I just felt shouldn't have been there. I just felt there was something odd about this man, and he didn't do anything in particular to warrant that reaction. However, where he was sitting, how he was watching the children made me feel very uncomfortable. He did not have any of his own children. Something was off for sure. And initially I thought, well, maybe there was some mental health issues. I don't know. I'm not familiar with who attends this pool. So when we left, I had asked the front desk, and they did know who he was. He wasn't a regular. And it was really uncomfortable because when he left the pool, he came and like sat by the window to watch the children even more. It was just very upsetting to me. So I did alert the reception at this facility, but you can't do anything. And the one thing she told me was that it's unfortunate that this stuff happens because those places tend to attract those types of characters. And it makes me feel sick. But the part that was really unsettling is, like, I thought I was doing okay holding my nerves in check, when in reality my kids actually at one point said to me, like, Mom, calm your nerves. Like, they could sense I was feeling really anxious. Like, I didn't even want to leave the kid pool to go into the big pool because I didn't want this person to look at my children. Like, I felt very unsafe. And I also felt like I couldn't control that nervous reaction, which made me feel really weird. And so basically I came home and I talked to my husband about it, and he just kind of said, you know, you can't fix everybody, and you're going to come across bad people in your life, and as long as your children are safe and, you know, you're being a good citizen and all of that, like, that's the best you can do, that's the best you can hope for. So it's a really strange reaction. Like, I felt like I had to save everybody, and I don't know why I felt like that. So that was kind of awkward. I'm working through some of those emotions. I did mention in the 1 week later video that I had plans to see a counselor, and I did. I've had 2 sessions since everything happened. The first session, we really worked through, you know, what had taken place and my emotions around it and what was going on there. I had an incident at the hospital, which had kind of re-victimized me, and then I had an incident where I couldn't follow up at the police station. I just felt very weird about it, and it came down to it. I was very worried about the child because I knew that the person had been charged, but like, he was with his kid, and it was very awkward. Update on the hospital, it's been very positive actually. So I spoke with the hospital administrator and then the staff, or a staff member. And so that staff member, after discussing the situation with me, the doctor who had basically mistreated me, expressed regret in certain ways that she had handled it, and so that's fine. But I also know we say things to save our own asses when it comes to mistakes in our workplace, so I respect that. It's fine, whatever. But the one good thing I found is that they're going to take my experience in terms of non-visual sexual assault and learn from it on how to handle victims in future who need help, who need support, and how to handle it better. So that's been really good. I feel like it's a very positive outcome for me. I'm very happy with how they handled it. And yeah, I'm really happy. That was my goal, because I really felt like, what if I didn't have all of the support? What if I was a young, 19-year-old girl putting herself through school, working at the local drugstore, and this happens, and maybe my family doesn't support me, maybe I don't have a boyfriend that supports me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I didn't have all of that support, how would I have felt after this incident? Would I have felt like I did something to cause it? All of those things. And so that made me really happy that they're going to put some changes in place and train their staff appropriately. Are we going to see big changes right away? No, but sometimes it's those small changes that start the ball rolling. So I'm really happy about that. In terms of following up with the police station, I called, and I couldn't get in touch with the officer in charge. He was not there at the time, and I never called back. So that's something I still kind of have left hanging. Some resolution I did get from speaking to my counselor is that in the event that a child is involved in any of that, Child Protective Services are called no matter what. So that gives me some hope, because that is something that really worried me. Like in my video, the first video, I mentioned that people who perform those strange voyeurism behaviors, it's often one of a few sexual deviances that they have. And so I started to feel very nervous about the child in his care, and is that child being exposed to anything that they shouldn't be? It makes me feel very strange as a mom. Again, though, I can't save everybody. So I'm sort of like processing those emotions. So what am I going to do? Like, I can't do anything more. There's no incident that I can report this person on. It's just the one, and he's already been charged. And I'm referring to the parent in the situation. So yeah, I'm still working through that part. So that part I'm getting there. But something that I've been changing to help me feel better is, one, I have really stepped up my fitness situation. So shortly after this whole incident took place, I realized that one of the best ways I could cope and kind of deal with all of the stress and anxiety that I'm feeling is to start to have an outlet. And a lot of you had suggested fitness, and it's been on my mind, and I did it. I took the leap. I have worked out a minimum of 2 days a week since everything happened, and I feel amazing. I'm not working out for any I want a cute bum. Who doesn't? Check that video, my fitness commitment to the world. But it really is to feel good in my head and my body, to feel like I've kind of released all that stress and just released all those negative emotions and kind of replaced it with good feeling vibes. So everything in that sense has been going really well. I did change my hair since all of this took place. And I love it, although it is due for a haircut, so it's getting a little long. But yeah, everything else is really good. My family's been very supportive. Anytime that I want to talk about it, I have somebody I can talk to. And that was something that resonated with me with my counselor, was that she says, don't hold it in. Like, if you want to talk about it, find somebody to talk to that supports you. And that was really like, yes, you're right. Because a part of me felt like, okay, it happened. I talked about it the one time, and now you kind of have to like slip back into your role as mother, wife, friend, YouTuber, all these things, and kind of forget that it happened. Like, you're good. You dealt with it the one time. Where I feel like, no, sometimes it comes up and I have triggers that I don't expect. And when those happen, I need to talk about them. And I think that's the message I want to relay with you, is like, if you find you reached out to someone and you spoke about it once, and then in a month's time you feel like you need to talk about it again, talk about it again. Like, get it out of your system, because I feel like that's the only way to heal. And the last thing I want to leave this video on, and just a really positive note, is that one of you had actually left a message, and it hit me so hard. It was all about being grateful and expressing gratitude, and that expressing gratitude about things in your life can actually help you cope and get through these bad situations, these unfortunate situations. And so I've been really focusing on that, and just taking the time to appreciate things in my life, and places I get to go, and experiences I get to have, and feelings I get to feel because of the life I lead. And that things will happen, but it's not going to knock me off of my good feelings about life. You know, it might I might pivot for a second, but I'm always going to come back to who I am and my, you know, my emotions and my self-worth and my self-love and I won't let that change me, is I guess what I want to say. So all in all, it's been a very, you know, a bit of a roller coaster of emotions, but I feel like I'm allowing myself to feel them and to go through everything, and I think that's all that I can ask for. So that's my update. I feel like this has kind of come full circle. I'm not sure that I'll make any more videos about it unless something warrants it, but I really appreciate each and every one of you, and especially those who have sent me messages, left me wonderful comments. It has been a very humbling experience to feel so that you trust me enough to share your personal experiences with me, and I really appreciate that. So I thank you, and that's it. Well, if you're new, please subscribe. I put up videos 3 times a week, and I will see you in my next one. All right, guys, bye.